Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down an absolute culinary lifesaver from the folks at Innovant Food, their American-style one-pan chicken potato curry. We're going to explore how this single recipe can completely revolutionize your busy weeknights. We'll dig into the mechanics behind why this specific sequence of ingredients works so incredibly well, and how you can maximize that flavor while literally minimizing your cleanup. All right, let's just dive right into it.
You know, we've all been there. You've had a super long day, you really want a hearty, homemade meal, but the thought of tackling a literal mountain of dishes afterward? Yeah, it's completely overwhelming. Well, this specific recipe is fundamentally designed around efficiency. It packs in these complex, comforting flavors, but strategically uses just one single pan. We're going to uncover exactly how it transforms basic pantry staples into a rich curry without turning your kitchen into a total disaster zone. Let's see how it actually works.
Section 1. Marinating the chicken. So in a bowl, we start with our chicken. You're going to add salt, red chili powder for a nice little kick, black pepper, and a drizzle of cooking oil. Now, what's really interesting here is that the oil is absolutely crucial. It isn't just for moisture, It actually acts as a vehicle. Since a lot of the flavor compounds in chili and pepper are fat-soluble, the oil allows those spices to really bloom and bind directly to the meat. That creates a much deeper flavor profile than if you just use dry spices alone.
Once that's mixed, just set the bowl aside. Now, I know a lot of people see the word marinate and immediately think they need to plan hours ahead. But not here. No way! You really don't need hours. Honestly, even just the 10 to 15 minutes it takes to prep your vegetables is plenty of time for the salt to start breaking down those proteins, tenderizing the chicken, and pulling those spices right into the surface. It's all about stacking your tasks efficiently, right? So while the chicken rests, you get to prep.
Section 2. Building the flavor base.
All right, let's move over to the stove. Heat a large pan over medium heat and add just a bit of oil. Now, the sequence we're talking about here is incredibly important. We don't want to just throw everything in at once. We actually start with the chopped onions to sweat them out. Cooking them until they're soft and lightly golden releases their natural sugars, which fundamentally changes their chemical structure from sharp and pungent to sweet and savory. This essentially builds the foundational flavor layer of our entire curry.
Next up goes the chopped garlic and ginger. And we add these specifically after the onions for a very important reason. See, they have a much lower water content, which means they will burn incredibly fast if you put them in too early. So just give them about a minute in that hot oil until they become fragrant. This technique essentially blooms the aromatics, building this robust, irresistible base for the curry that is literally going to fill your entire kitchen with the most amazing smell. Now for the crunch and the starch. Go ahead and stir in your chopped bell peppers for a couple of minutes just to let them blister slightly and release their bright flavor. Then, gently fold in your diced potatoes. Letting the potatoes hit the pan right now gives them an absolutely crucial head start on softening. But more importantly, the starch in those potatoes begins to soak up all those incredible onion, ginger, and garlic oils we just developed at the bottom of the pan. Section 3. Bringing it all together. Okay, it is time to reintroduce our chicken. Bring that marinated chicken and, honestly, every single drop of those seasoned oils from the bowl right into the pan. Stir it really thoroughly, because this is where the magic really starts to happen. You want every single piece of chicken and every potato coated in that unified flavor profile. By mixing it all right now, you're making sure that as the chicken cooks, its juices will perfectly mingle with the spiced vegetables. Next, just cover the pan and drop the heat to medium-low. Over the next 15 minutes or so, a brilliant culinary synergy happens under that lid. The chicken cooks through, rendering its seasoned juices, and then that moisture gets trapped by the lid and actually steam cooks the potatoes until they're just perfectly tender. You are literally searing, braising, and steaming all in one pan at the exact same time. Just remember to give it a stir occasionally so those delicious starches don't stick to the bottom. Once a fork easily glides right into a piece of potato without any resistance at all, you're done. Just turn off the heat. Now, if you want to elevate the dish visually and flavor-wise, you can garnish it with some freshly chopped herbs like cilantro or parsley. And this isn't just for looks, by the way. The bright, acidic freshness of the raw herbs perfectly cuts through that rich, savory depth of the warm curry. It creates a beautifully balanced bite. And just like that, your super comforting one-pan chicken potato curry is ready to go. This brilliantly illustrates just how versatile the dish is. You can serve it with a slice of warm, crusty bread to soak up that incredible sauce. Or ladle it over a fluffy bed of rice. Or hey, if you're looking for a lower-carb, self-contained meal, Just enjoy it exactly as it is. It's totally perfectly balanced on its own.
Section 4. A bonus oven-baked method.
Now, if you've had a really long day and you just do not want to stand over a stove stirring, the oven is going to be your best friend. Instead of building the dish in stages in a stovetop pan, this alternative method is basically all about the dump and bake. You simply combine all your raw ingredients, the marinated chicken, the potatoes, the raw veggies, and all the seasonings directly into one single oven-safe baking dish. Give it a good toss so that seasoned oil coats absolutely everything. Then, pop that baking dish into an oven preheated to 200 degrees Celsius or about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, because the heat in an oven is ambient rather than direct heat like from a stovetop burner, the cooking process does take a little bit longer. It's about 30 minutes in total. So, the crucial point here is that you're trading a little bit of cooking time for completely passive cooking. No stirring, no monitoring, you just let the oven do all the heavy lifting for you. This baked method gives you a really wonderful, completely hands-off meal. And honestly, whether you choose the stovetop or the oven method, the ultimate takeaway is exactly the same. You are left with exactly one dish to clean at the end of the night. It is literally the ultimate weeknight life hack, giving you back your precious time without sacrificing flavor, comfort, or nutrition. So ultimately, this recipe proves that incredible, complex flavor absolutely doesn't require a sink full of dirty pots and pans. Which means the only question left to answer is, will you pair yours with bread or rice? And really, what's stopping you from making it tonight? Thanks for joining me on this explainer of Innovent Food's fantastic dish, and we will see you next time.